Let's go. Hibu Haq, love, truth, salam, peace, Huruton, freedom, adil, and justice. Amir Talib, check me out, listen. Yo. Let the spirits guide me safely to my destination. Using respiration deep into my meditation. In times of desperation, I am using evocation. I self-law and master, creating a world that's ever changing. All the races created to force the separation. Discrimination, the basis is made on pigmentation. His education for everyone in the population. Knock my occupation, liberation at every nation. My obligations to stop and topple.
The Executive Order of Abraham Lincoln, 13th Amendment, the true 13th Amendment, which has 20 sections. So these laws that govern us will distinguish us from everybody else recorded within those agencies. So they can't use these adhesion contracts or the 14th Amendment to assume authority over us and abuse our constitutional rights. So this is the importance of that registry, of recording ourselves, of our genealogy, etc., etc. So getting back to the point, the Sheik brought up an excellent point. There's so much information, it's very hard to touch on all of it. The Prophet gives the degree right there. He says the era of slavery, right? He talks about this is a new era of time now. And all men now must proclaim their free national name, to be recognized by the government in which they live. So that means proclaiming your nationality cannot stop with you coming inside the Moorish Science of America and getting you a card. Because how the government in which you live knows that you proclaimed your nationality? If all you have is a card that was printed out by one of the sheikesses or sheiks. I got you, Mo. I got you. But we're gonna have to, because this question is a little more deeper. Because y'all asking me deep questions, y'all gotta give me time to build on them. So we're gonna get to we may not get to every question today, but I'm gonna try. We gotta do a time check. We got some time. All right. While I'm touching on this question, I'm gonna ask the Sheikh Muhammad. Hold on one second. Which one do I want? Okay, can I get the divine warning? Because we're gonna go deeper into this proclaiming the nationality issue, because the evidence is all there with the Prophet. Okay, yeah, you're see this? Now mind you, I told him which document. I told him which document I wanted to go to. And he knew what it was associated with because he brought up this particular degree. You understand? Watch how we sheiks are working. The more he went further down to build more on the proclaiming the nationality. So I said, all right, there's something attached to that degree because we went through the same school. It was something attached to that very degree that he was building on. I told him to open up Divine Constitution and Bylaws, the Divine Warning by the Prophet to the Nations, and he goes right to the exact excerpt. So let's build on that.
Islam. There is but one issue for them to be recognized by this government and of the earth, and it comes only through the connection of the Moorish Divine National Movement, which is incorporated in this government and recognized by all other nations of the world.
Right there, stop right there. So the Prophet already told you how to proclaim your nationality and what it is. He says, first off, he says there's but one issue for us to be recognized. And this is what this is all about. We just talked about it. There's an identity crisis, right? And then now we segue into, all right, now we know we're Moorish Americans, all right? We have an identity now, Moors, right? And now how do we get that recognized? The Prophet Noble Drew Ali incorporated this into this movement, incorporated us through this movement, into this government known as the United States of America. And through that government, we get recognition by all nations of the world. Because if you recognize this flag, if you recognize the United States of America, then you're gonna have to recognize this flag. Because we incorporated as a government within that government. Okay, so I know you're gonna go through that. We're gonna go through a whole excerpt. But I just wanna make sure I don't miss anything. So it says it comes only through. Okay, so anybody telling you that you can proclaim yourself as a Moor outside of the Moorish Science of America, that's fine if they say that, but don't let them use the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's name. Don't let them use this man's name. Because he said it comes only through the connection to this divine national movement. Well, what about those Moors? They're part of the divine national movement too, right? No, they're not. No, they're not. And it's not to disrespect no Moors or throw no dirt at no Moors. It's not according to Sheik Amir. It's according to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, because he said that it comes only through the connection of the Moorish Divine National Movement, which is incorporated. So the Moorish Divine National Movement is not just something that we say or something that's just on paper within our government, but not within the government of the United States of America. It's incorporated. Do we know for a fact it's incorporated?
Islam.
Pull out your one-on-ones.
Islam, in fact.
Pull out your one-on-ones. If you look at the back of the one-on-ones, thank you, Mo. Make sure you put it on the camera too, so they can see it on the other camera. On the back of the one-on-ones is a document called Our Authority, and Our Authority is the document that made us a nation. So when you see August 1st, 2:52 p.m., that was the moment that the Moorish Science Temple of America became a government that is to be recognized by all nations of the world. In this government and all nations of the world. Okay? So the process of proclaiming your nationality comes through these doors that the prophet is standing in front of. Islam? You said you had more stuff? Yeah, we're going to get to it. Let the Sheik, we're going to wrap up this excerpt and then we're going to get to those questions.
Islam. And through it, they and their children can receive their divine rights unmolested by other citizens, that they can cast a free national ballot at the polls under the free national constitution of the state's government, and not under a granted privilege, as has been the existing condition for many generations. Islam.
Now that particular excerpt is extremely deep. That's going into the 15th Amendment and all those things, but because we have 3 additional questions, I'm not going to build too much on that. We're gonna move on, but the takeaway from that particular excerpt is divine rights unmolested by other citizens. So when we come under the constitutional fold through the prophet, we can be protected. Islam? So let's move on to the questions that you have.
I want to just add on.
Sure.
If you want, you could probably do this once a month.
Oh, you're not. This is a series. So for the Moors watching, this is a series. I think I'm going to do this for a little bit. I think this is very healthy for the Moorish movement, because we have to communicate to our family and our friends and strangers in the context that we don't know them personally, but they are our family. They just don't know it.
Islam.
So we got to get these basic degrees down so we can get them to understand the basics. Then it's just a matter of your heart. Do you love your people? Do you love yourself? Because that's the reason to sit here every Sunday. That's the reason to make your meetings Friday and Sunday. And if you a Sheik, your Wednesday meetings.
Islam.
That's the purpose, to make that sacrifice away from your family and some of the activities and some of your vices for you to be here. Islam?
Okay, this is from Morris Gibson 1. After being called Moors, then what? What is the process for building a community?
All right, so you want to let's go.
Islam. First off, after understanding that you are Moor, you have to learn to love your brother. Because most of the problems that we have in this community that we have already is that we do not love one another. We are not broke, we blind jays. We spend our money every weekend. We spend billions of dollars on rubber and thread, sneakers, or different textiles like clothes. So once you understand your nationality, you learn to love your brother and sister. Then the next step is finance. This finance is what you're going to need to uplift a nation. The Prophet Noble Jew Ali states that a beggar nation cannot rise to its highest height of spirituality. So even though we are theology and we run a theocracy, finance is going to be needed. So we have a directed plan from the federal government on how to receive funds to start a nation financially. This does not take a lot. You could study. There's an Indian nation, so-called Indian nation, in the area of Nevada. It's 54 people in that nation. They get federal benefits. They have their own sanitation. They have their own businesses. They have their own first responders. If you look at many other places throughout the world, right here in New York City, if you go to where we have in Manhattan, Chinatown, this was set up through federal grants granted by the government. We have one that has an interest of over 100 years, but we cannot move as a single cell. We have to move as a multi-cell, an organism, a body. So we can have this body politic. Then we can receive these federal funds, and then we can start erecting a nation. But before we get into all that, first off, you must proclaim your nationality, study, know your nationality, learn to love your brother, and then we have to instill morals. Because black people time is not how you show up to a meeting at the UN. Black people time is not how you show up to a meeting to discuss first responders and how that you have your own first responder team to handle these things. There's certain things that we have to incorporate in ourselves, being upright, independent, fearless, on time, and loving. So first, proclaim your nationality. 2, learn your brother, refine your morals. 3, take this law and help it save a nation. Enforce the Constitution to save a nation. And this is the executive will of Abraham Lincoln. Then after we take these funds, we can appropriate them to the right officers in the right office to erect the right municipality or county or country, depending on what level we are at the time, to move forward.
Obligations to stop and topple the operation of obliteration and subjugation of melanation. The sensation of putting truth into syndication gives me inspiration. Motivation is vindication. Vocab is superb, emphatical. Enslaved mentally, thinking is unilateral. Resistant to the actual, brains are on a sabbatical. Third eye open, spirit traveling astral. We are the jure, that government is de facto. Stick to common law, the law that governs the natural. The circle 7 is ancient Moabite chosen lessons. Learn is my obsession. My spirit is the eternal essence. Knowledge presence can help you understand